Hi. It's the
Hey.
2 minute Terminator.
T3.
It's episode 30 of the 2 minute Terminator. We've made it. Episode 30. Chink the glasses. Ka-ting. Ah, champagne. We never drink it. It promotes Russ, sir.
Plus it tastes like we.
Yeah, we're here. I'm Ethan McKinley.
I'm Ellie Fitzgerald.
That's her as well. It's the 2 minute Terminator. We are going from minutes 58 to 60.
Yes.
The 1 hour mark. We're halfway.
We are indeed.
In 30 more episodes, we'll be on to Terminator Salvation and Happiness, Ellie. Or maybe not.
Hit the music.
Oh, okay.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger, to me.
Hi, I'm Chief Master Sergeant William Candy.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
And we're back.
You turn down a little bit. It's a little bit distracting.
So good, though.
It sounds like the beginning. It sounded like the Snowman music.
And that year, a little boy playing with a snowman.
Oh, we love you,
I'm
Bowie.
David, but he's dead.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that was the theme to Joe 90, of course, which is a big fan.
What the hell is that?
Everyone's a fan of Joe 90, aren't?
What is Joe 90?
What is Joe 90?
Yeah.
It's a Jerry Goldsmith Super Marionation episode. Whoa. We now continue with Maurice Jarre's 1982 soundtrack theme from Firefox, the espionage thriller starring Clint Eastwood. As you will know if you've been listening to the shows, we use action-adventure scores backing us as we speak, because sometimes what we say isn't all that interesting, so hopefully the sweeping scores will carry you through.
Turn it down. It's so loud.
It won't be to them.
But it is to me. I can barely hear myself. I'm not
Oh.
saying something.
Well, do you like this music?
From what I've heard so far, yes. But we'll see.
It's the
we'll
Firefox
see where
March.
it goes.
Oh, you've got to watch Firefox as well. Clint Eastwood is a Vietnam vet pilot, and he's drafted in because he's the only guy that can really fly this experimental Russian spy plane, which is in their version of Area 51. So he has to break into there.
It's quite Nazi-like, doesn't it?
Get into it's like back then during the Cold War, the Russians were out.
Oh, the Cold War.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a war where there's no
Say
heating on.
more.
But yeah, he has to steal this like amazing
Cold
plane
War, that's
and,
like an
and
oxymoron.
get it out. It's one of my favourite films as a kid.
Wow, you've literally never mentioned this movie.
I have. We've even played it for one of the episodes, but
We didn't.
that's what happens when doves cry.
So I have some notes.
You have some notes?
Do you have any cock-ups or trivia schmivia?
I do for this episode. We just didn't have any in the last episode, and the episode that we should have done the trivia for yesterday's episode. Should we do Rachel Ticotin and Arnold Schwarzenegger on Mars in Total Recall? Go.
2 weeks. Will you be bringing any fruit or vegetables to the planet?
You didn't do it. You've got to depressurize as well.
Oh, sorry.
That's better.
Oh, I've got a headache.
So anyway, yeah, we're going from minutes 58 to 60, the 2 minutes bridging that gap.
Are you trying to fly, Ethan?
It begins with your fiance, which obviously is wrong.
No, it's your fiance is
And
dead.
it ends with TX weapons testing when she gets a big flaming tool.
Oh, it is the very beginning of this particular 2 minutes that Arnold so sensitively delivers the information, your fiance is dead. So if he's learnt certain types of kind of psychological tricks, do you not think that they would instill any kind of
Empathy or kind of like
Yeah.
tactfulness.
Yeah. let's just sorry, it's dead, mate. Is that? Yeah, it's dead. So that must be quite horrifying for her. Although considering she's just been told that her fiance is dead, I probably would have gone a little bit more apeshit. To be fair, I mean, yeah, some pretty horrific things are happening, but she does seem to brush over that news pretty. Well, she doesn't seem to really acknowledge it, but hey. Now, my first qualm, Ellie's qualms, With this
Feeling seasick? Ellie's qualms.
Ellie's corpse. So the TX runs and launches herself onto the roof of the hearse. And then she decides to choose her weapon as a circular saw to saw through the roof of the hearse. Now, I was wondering why she decided a circular saw. If it had been Robert Patrick, he probably would have just shanked his big steely blade
through the roof
and then just split it. That probably would have made more sense. But really, what I would have thought, if there is any consistency in this film and the back window was still smashed in, surely the TX could have
pour
just...
through that.
Easy.
Yeah.
That would have saved a hell of a lot of time. She would have killed them both.
Well,
Terminator, the T-800 is in the front, so he would have been out of... Like, he wouldn't been able to protect them.
The primary weapon is damaged, though, to be fair.
Yeah, that's after she gets blown off the bloody... She gets hit off the top.
She's got like a withered Jeremy Beadle hand.
That was actually one of... yes. It's amazing.
Jamie Beadle,
his little baked bean
international listeners, Jamie Beadle was like a game show host / presenter from England.
He weirdly looked a little bit like Tim Curry.
From the 80s. He was like a Hall of Mirrors funfair Tim Curry, wasn't he? But yeah, I think he had some childhood disease, or he's born with a small deformed hand.
Kids are so evil, man. I went to school with this girl who had the same hand.
What, Jeremy's?
No, literally. She had like the normal palm bit, but then all the fingers were like little baked beans. So we used to call her baked bean. How bad is that? I'm not joking.
We shouldn't laugh.
She'd like tuck it up inside her blazer and would be like, "Yeah, we know what's in there, beanie." We also used to call my mate Amy, who was grossly overweight at the time. We used to sing at her, "Who ate all the pies? You fat bastard! You fat bastard! You ate all the fucking pies, you fat bitch!" It was great. Me and my friend Sophie were just the most non.
Oh, children.
I know. I'd still call her Beanie now. And if Amy wasn't fat, I'd probably still say she was fat.
Just so everyone knows, before we get angry letters, Amy and Ellie are still best of friends.
Yeah, Amy's amazing.
Amy's thin though now.
She is. She can take a joke just as well as she can give it. She's great. She has no filter. There's no limits. It's awesome. And that is with comedy or in the bedroom. Ideal. If only she was hot. So yeah, I would have thought that the TX would have just kind of melted into the back, which would have saved all of this shenanigan. However, one bit I do like about the fact that she soars through the ceiling and rips it open. When she actually rips open the top, it sounds like one of the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. And I was like, I'm here for Brad. Yeah,
it also looks like, I imagine you'd see it's if you lived in Hillary Clinton's vagina.
Oh my god! What is it? Stay back! I have no qualms with you. It's dark and cold.
Oh my!
Oh my! It's eating my head. It's eating my head.
Anyway, I was going to say during the no, that's wrong.
Ethan, shut up.
I'm going to delete that.
Yeah. So she rips open the roof. Oh yeah, the next point I wanted to make. What's Xenadrine EFX?
I don't know. What is that, Ellie?
Well, the lorry that smashes into the hearse and...
Oh, is it an in-joke or anything like that?
No, it's not. Is it an in-joke? I was just wondering genuinely, what is that lorry? What is Xenadrine EFX?
I don't know.
Because it's like, what was it? Like harness the power or enhance the power.
How do you actually spell it?
It's Zenadrine.
Zenadrine. EFX. It could be the Xenadrine EFX. It's a weight loss supplement, basically.
Oh wow, that's ridiculous. I mean, what do you think about weight loss pills? People have died from taking them.
Well, it's essentially they're all usually some form of like speed, basically, which just stops you eating. And
just take speed. Just take drugs.
Well, I think also, I mean, it's just for people who don't want to actually do the work, basically, isn't it?
Not so bad.
You can achieve anything, but you need to put the work in.
Experience the power, that's what it says.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not doing any exercise. You're not eating properly, and then you're just losing weight. You're just setting yourself up. You're slowing your metabolism down.
You lose all the elasticity in your skin as well.
Yeah, completely. I was
Bad-
gonna.
Bad juju.
I've got some a cock up for you.
Cock up.
When the Terminator is driving the hearse, the hood on. I was gonna say hood ornament, but when the Terminator is driving the hearse, the hood ornament is knocked off. It reappears at the end of the chase.
Do you know what? When we first did this yesterday, and I saw the hearse.
What are you, homosexual, Taylor?
It did make me think of the big titty gal in Ford Fairlane. Do the organ donor bit.
Whoa, honey, I felt you should have Damn, honey, you should have filled out some organ donor cards. Yeah, in the hearse scene, the hubcaps gets knocked off, then it reappears several times during the chase, and you see that here, I think.
Yeah.
There's one. Another one, actually, the oncoming shot of that before they swerve out of the way of that thing, it goes up and goes whoop.
Right, another qualm. So John has been, quite able-bodied throughout the drive.
She
so
just should have
far.
pulled herself right into that hole on the top of the hearse and just got
Totally.
him.
And secondly, all of a sudden, when he needs to grab the gun, he's like pinned by something. It's like, hang on a minute, like what's he got pinned by? Why all of a sudden is he not able to reach his gun?
Maybe he's
all
stuck
very
between the
convenient.
hearse and the side of the
But
inside.
he was like upright
of
a
the
minute
coffin.
ago. I mean, to be fair, the
They
car
are
is,
they're doing freaking donuts and
should've put
zigzagging
his
like you wouldn't
seatbelt on.
believe.
Should've put and also, I don't think that the collision with that lorry would have ripped the roof off quite like that.
No, the hearse probably would have just stopped.
Yeah, really. Also, another thing that I found quite interesting, the lorry sees the car approaching with what they would think would just be a human woman on the roof of the car, and he doesn't brake for ages. It's only at the very last minute that he brakes and turns the wheel of the lorry. Do you
His
think
reaction time would have been faster, I imagine, because they're on trucker meth.
Yeah, that and killing.
Well, in some of the action shots, Ellie, the hearse is shown minus both the front and rear right-hand side wheel covers. However, when the hearse comes to rest near the RV, the right-hand wheel cover has reappeared. And as the hearse speeds away through the grass after driving under the truck, it leaves absolutely no marks in the grass. Sad.
Awesome.
What do you think of that? So what are the questions you got?
Okay, so none of them are really questions. What are you doing?
Putting the screen back on?
No, but I wanted to get the internet up. I wanted to look at something that we can
Okay.
discuss in this episode. Yes, so first of all, the lorry driver fails to brake in time.
Right.
Second of all, once it's all stopped, our heroes have sped away, and the TX is, she sits up, she looks at her damaged hand. While she's doing that and making her assessment, you see the guy get out of the lorry behind, and he's checking his lorry. Doesn't even look to see if she's okay until like a lot later. It's like, oh no, my poor truck.
That's his livelihood.
Yeah, I know, but would have just absolutely slain some poor woman, and he doesn't give a fuck. He's like, no, my car.
Wait,
my
so we're
car.
thinking,
My head.
let's make sure the truck's okay, so I'm not in violation of
So I
any
can't be done for insurance.
If I'm not
or-
in violation of any state and city laws, a cop can't start with her in a busted tail light. She's clearly dead.
He's thinking, screw that lesbian.
Basically, I can pick the body up
In the
and just
pleather
do it in the
outfit.
back of my truck in the nearest truck
Why
stop.
don't you get in my truck?
I want to get another word. Pass off.
I want to take you home.
I want to take you home,
What's the song he did for Kung Fury?
Kung Fury.
Oh my god, that track is amazing. You should have that on one of the episodes. That's kind of action.
I will.
Kung Fury, people, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's utter rubbish, but it's actually quite entertaining.
Well, it's actually it's in the show notes of this show, which is show 30. So if you go on the Facebook page and look for show 30 on there, or you literally just
Can we play a snippet of the song?
I see where you're going with this, Ellie.
I know it's gonna.
Are you not enjoying Wolfgang Petersen's Enemy Mine soundtrack?
I am, but I just feel like we should give them a little taster, just so they know what to expect. Do you not? I think our listeners deserve it.
All right.
Oh, you look so upset. You were so full of zing and pep.
I like to keep the consistency to the
What, we always play
the-
odd little bits and bobs and
Yeah,
got a permit for those guns. See how apt.
gets out of the car.
He's still got it.
Boom.
Fat synth. Oh my god, it's so good. Why is he wearing Converse, for God's sake? He's a 70-year-old man.
He's in his 60s.
It's like you
That's
wearing
clearly not him.
bloody Mark Jordans.
The jacket's cool though.
Jacket's really cool.
I like the palm trees on the arms.
It's very Hot Creations.
I also like the DVD kind of tracking interference wobble on it. No surrender.
It's almost a little bit Frank Stallone.
It is. I think Frank Stallone is probably more successful in my eyes. Maybe not successful commercially because he's really big in Germany, isn't he, Hasselhoff?
Yeah.
He helped bring the wall down, apparently. So according to him. But I think I prefer Frank Stallone's songs.
Oh yeah, definitely. But this is awesome. Ready? So good. Anyway, I'm happy. Thank you.
You have more notes?
Yes. So the damaged arm, how does that actually happen?
Well, here's my contention with the damaged arm.
I have lots of issues with
Well,
it.
she gets smashed by a giant RPG rocket launcher.
Yeah, but it's...
She hits a freaking tombstone. Not a tombstone, an actual tomb lid. My only thing is, she's got two hands in this scene.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
If her primary weapon is damaged, it can't retransform back into hand and
Exactly.
fingers, right?
Exactly. That's why I wanted to know how the
Oh, that
damage
was the
was
hubcap,
done.
by the way.
Hubcap.
Hubcap. Possum.
That's what I mean, though. We see the circular saw, and then all of a sudden she's gone back to her electronic... What is that gun? What's it meant to be? Some kind of laser, electronic kind of...
It's like a Swiss Army knife, isn't it?
No. The one that actually shoots out the... I don't even know what it is. It's like the blue zzz.
Oh,
What
it's
is
just
it,
like some
electrical
plasma
current?
cannon.
Plasma cannon, okay.
I'm saying plasma because as if I know what that is, but like... They're plasma guns, I think, in the future, and it's obviously from the future, isn't it? So it's some kind of like portable...
Plasma, I thought that was like the goo that comes off aliens.
Well, plasma, you could argue, is one of the forms of blood. If you scrape or skip like your skin, and you get that clear liquid coming out, but it's not blood. That's blood plasma without the blood cells in
Oh,
it.
right, yeah.
So yeah, there's that. No, plasma's some form of electricity, isn't it?
Is it?
I think when you get a plasma weapon, it's some form of channeled electricity.
Okay.
Just Google it, listeners.
It's worth a Google. Have you got any trivia schmivia for us?
Well, I've got this for you, basically. John quotes his mother back in the cemetery 2 episodes back. And his mother in the cemetery, or he quotes her saying, every day after August the 29th, 1997, the original Judgment Day, is a gift. The quote is a near exact copy of what Sarah says in Terminator 2, 1991, but not the original version, the kind of like the happy ending special edition version, which came out on DVD. By the way, listeners, if you do own and are having immense trouble getting your special edition Skynet version Blu-ray of Terminator to play, the special edition contained within that disc, you have to type in a code, of course, with your controller, which is the 29th of August 1997. So I think it's 290897. But I think the Americans put the month first, don't they? So maybe it's 082997.
Talking about happy endings.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like a little side story that has nothing
Would
to do
you
with
like a
Terminator?
handy? Yes. Yes, please tell us.
Just because it reminded me of it, and I just thought it's been a while since I've talked any smart and gone completely off topic. When I last saw Nick, he came to London and decided he was in Soho and had some time to kill. And he sent me a message and he was like, do you think I should go for a massage? I really want a massage. And I was like, yeah, go. So afterwards, he messaged me saying, well, that was interesting. And he's like, well, I first went in and first of all, these two girls really wanted to both massage me at the same time. So they were like, oh, both of us. And he was like, oh, okay. And then at the end of his massage, they didn't even ask him. They just turned him over and they both just wanked him off. But they charged him like triple what they should have. I was like, so they didn't even ask you if you wanted a... He's like, no. And I was just like, I think I ended up paying like 70 quid or something.
Is that all it is?
What? Dude, in Surrey, to get a massage for an hour, Surrey prices is £40.
The danger of going to those places in Soho is once you're in there, they can just go, we've locked you in, and this burly motherfucker is going to kick the living shit out of you unless you give us whatever you can get out on your bank card right now, which is like 300 quid.
Do you know anyone that's happened to?
No. But I know that's kind of what happens. Sometimes when you go in a club and
How do you know that's what happens?
someone will come and talk, because I've seen heard all the horror stories.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Who do you know that's happened to?
And by the way, if triple price is 70 quid for 2 girls to toss you off, I'd fucking go. I thought you were going to say,
I'd never pay for it.
It was like 600 quid. I'm like,
yeah, but it wouldn't be that.
Nick knew what he was getting himself in for, though, wasn't he?
Oh, we knew that was going to happen, but I don't think he knew it was going to be £70.
How did he know it was going to happen?
Because it's Nick. They saw his penis and they went, we're having it. He was bollock naked. Of course they were going to. Then apparently they were like giggling and stuff.
Were the girls hot?
He said they were pretty hot, yeah.
Damn.
I'm not really into Oriental chicks though. Mia's the only Oriental chick that I've ever seen that I thought, yeah.
Well, Mia's just turning into a white Caucasian woman now.
She's so hot, man. She looked unreal at the weekend.
With blonde hair?
Yeah, dude, I thought she looked so hot. I was gassed. I was like, yeah.
Well, she belongs to Drew now.
She really doesn't.
The mix of personality, apparently, and looks.
I really don't think that's the case.
Misery Drew.
He was so miserable. Everything that I don't know. Yeah, everything I've heard has just been.
Well, apparently,
he's a bit of a moaning
apparently he had the
Myrtle.
because she went to his house on Saturday night, and then left immediately after. And he's like, "Why don't you stay?" She's like,
well, no, that's
I
not.
don't do
That's not the whole reason. He basically was. They were in separate rooms. He didn't wish her a happy birthday. Basically, she was pissed off because he didn't fuck her.
"What? He
Yeah.
didn't."
No.
Oh, I thought
See,
he did.
I got the full story, so I know exactly what's going on.
Well, me and Mia, you probably tell her this when you see her, but we're gonna fall out properly because, like, she's like, "This is why I never tell you anything." I was like, "You didn't." She hasn't told me anything. I just thought it was. I just explained to her that we didn't go out on Saturday night because he was in town, and I knew he was staying in. He lived in Soho now, so if we went all the way into London, sorry, listeners, bear with us. If we went all the way into London, we'd have been trapped. I'd have been trapped and able to get back anywhere, Birmingham anywhere, because there's no trains until like 10 a.m. And she just would have gone to Drew's, basically. That's all I explained in the restaurant. And she's like, "This is why I never tell you anything." I was like, "You didn't have to tell me. I worked that out. That's why I didn't come out." And guess what? I was right, because that's exactly what happened.
Ethan, you need to calm down.
But no, she's like, she doesn't talk about anything.
She went to Drew's because we weren't coming out
But
initially.
had we and everyone else have come out, we'd have gone out for drinks for an hour, and then she would have gone back to Drew's and would have been deserted.
Yeah, but even if she had gone back to Drew's, what happened at Drew's was an absolute disaster, and she ended up leaving.
Well,
anyway.
why? We shouldn't really talk.
I'm
let's
not-
talk about.
I'm not-
No, let's talk. No one listens to this show anyway that we know. Everyone else that listens to it is. If this is your first Terminator, we do actually talk about the films quite a lot, and we'll get back
We've been really on focus.
We've been focused as Fook for the last since the start of this season, I think. Really.
He's posh as Fook and I'm common as Mook.
Yeah. Why did nothing happen?
So she's gone over there. He's being all miserable and just barely speaking to her.
So why is
And
she?
she said, and it got to midnight. He was in his room. She was in the front room eating soup on her own, wondering if A, he's going to come out, B, if he was going to say happy birthday to her, and C, if he was going to fuck her. And nothing happened. He just left her completely on her own, didn't speak to her.
Maybe he's playing some kind of game though.
Didn't give her a card, didn't give her a gift. It was like, she might as well not been there. And
So
then
why-
she said she was about to leave. And he was like, "Why are you going? Why are you going?" And she was just like, "Well, what am I staying for?"
She was
Like,
about to leave, and then what happened?
No, they didn't have sex.
Why?
Because he just didn't. I think that might be a bit of an issue.
What do you mean?
She's not sexually satisfied
With Drew?
No.
No, but she's saying she was super into him.
at the beginning. Yeah.
At the beginning of
think-
what? The restaurant?
No, at the beginning of when they first started seeing each other towards the end of last year.
They weren't really seeing each other
No,
then,
they
though,
were.
were they? Oh, they were?
Yeah.
Ah, that's what she wouldn't tell me.
And she saw him a lot over Christmas, which might be a reason why she couldn't see you.
But that shouldn't stop from seeing me because I'm
I
just
know,
her friend.
But remember, there is an issue between you and Drew.
What is there an issue for?
There is no issue between you and Drew, but Drew has an issue with you.
Why has he got an issue with me?
We know, because you're alpha male. On paper, you know, Drew, he's this.
But I haven't pursued Mia.
I know you haven't, but you don't need to. But that's the difference. That's the thing that makes you different. And you don't pursue. You pursue these chicks to a point until you get their interest, and then you just act like you don't give a fuck. And that's what sets you aside from everyone else.
I'm like a girl in that way. When I know I can have you, that's as good as having you.
You're completely like, yeah, exactly.
I'm such an asshole.
Whereas you don't chase after chicks. Whereas like someone like Drew probably would.
No, I
mean,
think...
look at the comments that he made when you went out to go see him about that other girl.
Oh my god, what other girl?
That girl that he was interested in, the singer. And he's like, oh, have you fucked her? Oh. And it's just like, it's so obvious. He's so insecure. And he obviously has this thing with you. He knows that you and Mia are really good friends.
Well, Mia said that. She's like, me and Ethan are like super close and you're going to have to deal with that.
Did you know that Lawrence wanted to come out, but he wouldn't because you were there?
Who's Lawrence?
Her ex-boyfriend.
Lawrence?
Yeah, the broker.
Oh.
She was like, I had to choose. And she was like, and I wanted Ethan there. So I had to tell him he couldn't go.
But I've said, let's all go out and Lawrence should come.
Yeah, but again, Ethan, men don't like you because you're a massive threat.
I'm not a threat, though.
You are a threat!
I'm not!
You are!
I don't earn as much money as these
It
said
doesn't,
men.
but Ethan, that's even worse. These men have all this money, and it doesn't matter. It's the man that drives the big fancy sports car who's got the small dick. Okay? You're like Aragorn. You're a ranger. You couldn't give a fuck.
I've got this, unpopular podcast. I'm rocking a giant hog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're a fun person. You don't do the gay man thing where you're like, oh god, like.
Yeah, but
that's what
full disclosure, listeners,
different.
I got Mia some gifts for Christmas. As she's one of my nearest and dearest friends. Yeah, we used to bump uglies and stuff, but
what is this?
I just thought we'd play some of it up in Giorgio Moroder because I'm getting some props.
This is not Giorgio Moroder.
Giorgio Moroder did the Neverending Story soundtrack.
Oh my god, I never knew that.
He co-wrote and
I
produced
don't remember this track being
this. You know what? I'll play the extended version of this and you'll completely hear that it's Giorgio Moroder.
Okay. But yeah, you were saying about Mia.
I wanted to give her some gifts at Christmas and she's like, oh, I can't come, I can't do this kind of anything.
Because she was with Drew.
Not when she's been at work. Not when she's been in this. Not when she's been that.
She's been at work.
And all right, but you know what? To risk our friendship by being evasive and not telling me anything, I wouldn't say anything to Drew if she was seeing Drew.
I don't know. Maybe she was just worried.
But worried about what? What am I going to say to Drew?
The apple cart.
What,
People don't like to rock the apple cart.
How would it rock the apple cart?
All right, what if Drew tried to call her and you were with her? He'd be like, I don't know. I'm just guessing now. But all I know.
But the minute you start moving goalposts in your life to accommodate another person, that's exactly why you shouldn't be around that person.
I know, but people make the same mistakes over and over again, Ethan. We're human beings. Some people never learn with experience. Some do, some don't. Most don't, to be fair.
Well, if you think that's got her off the hook, it really hasn't.
I'm not saying it's getting her off the hook.
That's actually kind of made it worse in a sense. It's like, you couldn't tell me that? Why would you not tell me that? I don't give a fuck. I just wanted to give you a Christmas gift. Okay, when I left and I was in the car, I was like, oh, you're at your sister's house. I'm driving to Birmingham. I'll drop it off on the way. And then she just wouldn't pick up her phone to tell me what the address was.
Why she couldn't meet you, but she told me that she was with Drew like over Christmas, so that I'm gonna knowing what I know about Drew, and I don't know. I just think that he has an issue, and I think she's tried to protect. I don't know, maybe protect Drew or
protect who? I don't need protecting. No one needs protection from me. I don't need protection from anyone else.
Yeah, but Ethan, I'm not saying I agree with it, but this might be what's transpired. I'm just trying to.
So what you're saying is, you think ultimately Mia has always loved me, and it should be us that are together because we're the only people that can handle each other in a sense. That we're both robots.
But then again, you have an issue with the fact that Mia is so cold.
No, I have an issue with Mia that she's not open. That's the issue. Coldness isn't the problem. Mia's the only girl that stayed in my house who's, after the deed was done, has gone to call a taxi without me prompting or anything like that. And I'm going now. I'm like, awesome. and every other guy hates her for that because she thinks like a dude. She'll have sex and then she'll just bugger off. Yeah. And like loads of people go, "Why? I just want him to hell." You're like, "You're a fucking man. Put your fucking socks up and deal with it, faggot." So yeah.
But Drew didn't, so.
I still don't think that's an excuse. I think she's just a fucking complacent little cow. And she needs to fucking sort her life out.
But you'll still be there and be a friend to her because you're a nice guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
You will.
No, my policy on relationships is about to become my policy on friendships as well. You get to a certain age, Ellie, and you just go, I can't be bothered with this person. You just write them off.
It just makes me think of that scene in League of Gentlemen.
They're like, it's like an insurance.
Pens. No, friends. Yeah, friends like pens. If they don't work, you shake them. If they still don't work, you chuck them away, bin them. Best analogy.
They're like insurance policies. If they don't work out, you just fucking write them off.
It's fair dues.
If the suspension's not working on your flatbed, just fucking write it off and get a new fucking truck.
Anyway, I've discussed all my notes. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah. There's a weird cheapness. I don't know what it is to this scene. Maybe they're in the kind of like hills, like near Melrose or somewhere. I don't know, but it's like
burning.
Yeah. Do you want to check on it?
Okay, people, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna let Ethan wrap this.
I don't know why I've turned everything off. There's nothing on.
Yeah,
like,
but I can smell that.
I can smell it.
Yeah.
There's no one in the house, is there?
I think I might. I don't know.
Did I leave the oven on?
I don't know.
I don't think I did. Anyway, we'll be back hopefully with an intact studio for tomorrow's episode.
Hopefully we'll still be alive.
We'll still be live. Sorry if it went around the houses. It got a bit personal, but you know, that's sometimes why you tune into this show. No. Some of our listeners like that. If you're new to the show, you probably don't realise that we've not done this for a while, but pretty much all of season 2 of Terminator 2, I think because the film was actually so good, it speaks for itself. You can't really take it apart. So we started talking about our personal lives. It's an interesting show, really, and it's kind of what may prompt another future podcast we may do. So as Klaus Dollinger and Giorgio Moroder play us out,
I'm going to make sure the house isn't burning down.
we're going to make sure the house isn't burning down. I've been Ellie Fitzgerald.
And you've been listening to the T3.
2T. And me, you're still in trouble. Hasta la vista.
Baby.
Machines. They're unstoppable. Watch out for machines.